Hello and welcome. My name is Erica and today I will be showing you how to make a secret message with invisible ink. And let's get started.
Before we get started, you should know that there are many types of secret ink. Some secret ink can only be seen in UV light. Some secret ink is activated by chemicals. So for example, in these two pictures, the secret ink is baking soda that's been dissolved in water. The paper on the left, the message was revealed by crushed blueberries. You could also use purple grape juice. The picture on the right, the secret message was revealed by mixing turmeric in alcohol and painting it over the words. The baking soda reacts with the turmeric or the blueberries. So for example, the turmeric turns from yellow to a deep orange, or the blueberries turn from purple to a light blue. Another type of secret ink is using material that changes color with heat. In this experiment, we will be doing heat activation to reveal our secret ink. Did you know during the Revolutionary War that the Americans used secret ink to help defeat the British? Throughout history, spies and governments have used secret ink to send messages across lines of countries and during wartime. In this experiment, you get to send your friends secret messages. First of all, gather your supplies. You will need either a Q-tip, a paintbrush, either one works, a Q-tip or a paintbrush, a container, lemons or lemon juice, and paper. First, you will squeeze your lemons or pour the lemon juice into a bowl.
The second step you are going to do is get your Q-tip and make sure to dip the Q-tip into the lemon juice and dip it in real good. And then you can start writing your secret message on the paper, whatever you'd like to write. Just make sure you go over it a couple times. That's what I did and it worked better that way.
As a very important tip, you should rewrite over your message a few times with the lemon juice. The more lemon juice on the spot, the darker the message will be at the end. If you want to give your message to friends, let the paper dry and then give the paper to your friend and let them know they'll need to heat the paper up to read your message.
So step 3 is to put the paper in heat. It does need heat so that the letters can go through and you will see the message. I do recommend going outside. It is safer that way. If you want a faster result, you could use a blow dryer or a candle or a light bulb. So you can see here slowly that the lettering was going through and that my message said hello.
Here is an example of what a writing could look like. This paper was left out under the sun for a couple of hours. It was a hot day. You can also speed things up by using a heat source, such as a hot light. You can also hold the paper over a gas stove. Have your adult help you with this one. You can put the paper in the oven or use the blow dryer on the hot setting. You just need to get the paper above 350 degrees, and it really doesn't take long if you're using a heat source. So why does the paper change colors? Paper is made out of cellulose fibers. So you can see that the zoomed in picture of cellulose, it's basically long chains of molecules held together by bonds. The cellulose is made up of glucose molecules. So if you were to zoom into the cellulose, you would see glucose, which is a type of sugar. Lemon juice is an acid called citric acid. If you were to pour or write lemon juice on your paper, it weakens the cellulose structure and the bonds break. And that leaves you with free glucose. And that's basically a weaker area of the paper. So when you heat your paper up in the sun or under a flame or a hot stove, you break down the molecules. And what you get is a process called caramelization. And that is basically the glucose being caramelized. Another way to say that is the glucose was oxidized. But the key here is that you had to use heat. We also caramelize our desserts. So the sugar, for example, in this flan has been browned or caramelized. And it's the same thing. The sugar has gone through that process. You don't always need heat to oxidize food. So for example, a lot of fruit will actually turn brown at room temperature or even in the fridge. And that's also oxidation, but it's just not being done with a heat source.
So those were all the steps you need. I hope you enjoyed this little presentation on how to do this, and I would love to see your guys' results.